Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Thursday, March 6th. Coming up on Cullman Today, a statement from Representative Adderholt, Cullman PD assistants, and Cullman City Council meeting. All of this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. Representative Robert Adderholt issued a statement yesterday regarding the reported closures of local Social Security administrative offices. In the statement, Adderholt said that these offices will remain open and continue serving the public, but changes are being made. He explains that since Social Security hearings are now done virtually, the spaces that were used previously to conduct those hearings are no longer needed. Lease agreements for those offices will be canceled, thereby saving the taxpayers money. He says these changes will not impact residents' ability to access Social Security services at these locations. Adderholt also added that while DOJ plays a necessary role in ensuring responsible management of federal resources, its actions are not aimed at cutting vital services like Social Security, and that he will continue working to protect these critical programs and advocate for the services our communities rely on. The Cullman Police Department is asking for the public's assistance in identifying the subject in the photos on your screen. Sergeant Chris Thomason needs to speak with the individual in these photos concerning an incident that took place in the city of Cullman. If you think you may know who this is, please contact CPD Investigation Division at 256-775-7170 or email cullmanpd@cullmanal.gov. The Cullman City Council on Monday approved a special events alcohol license for the new OmniPlex Sports and Civic Center. The center is being built on Field of Miracles Drive Southwest near the Donald E. Green Senior Center and Cullman Wellness and Aquatic Center. Mayor Woody Jacobs offered his assurance that the license will not impact youth and children's activities, explaining that the availability of alcoholic beverages will apply only to particular events. The council also approved requests from Cullman Parks Recreation and Sports Tourism to update the special events alcohol licenses for the Special Events District and Arts District, to edit the wording of the existing licenses from designated cup to designated container to allow for alcohol to be served in a wider variety of open containers like the glasses used at the annual Dinner on First event. Additionally, the council approved a request for an on-premises alcohol license for the new restaurant in the Warehouse District, Taco Marg. Also approved a special event request for an Easter block party by Desperation Church and a resolution to add funds to the city's contract for a revised lighting plan for the 4th Avenue Southwest and 4th Street Southwest Streetscape Improvement Project. The Cullman City Council meets next on Monday, March 17th at 7 p.m. in the Cullman City Hall Auditorium, and the public is invited to attend. And those are the top stories in Cullman today. Coming up, the Wallace State basketball teams receive byes in the ACCC tournament. Sports is next. Welcome back. In today's sports segment, let's get an update on the latest from Wallace State. Wallace State's men's and women's basketball teams each received byes for this year's Alabama Community College Conference Division I basketball tournaments. The Lions are seeded number 1 and the Lady Lions are seeded number 2 in their respective tournaments, which will tip off today at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. The Lady Lions will play their first game in the tournament at noon tomorrow against the winner of today's first-round game between Coastal Alabama South and Calhoun Community College. The Lady Lions are 26-4 overall and 11-3 in the conference. The reigning ACC champion Lions will play their first game tomorrow at 6 p.m. against the winner of today's matchup between Lawson State and Gadsden State. The Lions are 24-5 overall and 11-3 in the conference. Lions head coach Farron Key said it's nice to have won the regular season conference championship, which is hard to do. It took a lot of discipline, consistency, and responding the right way to adversity over a 2-month period of time. Key said his team's total focus is on this week and the opportunity to compete for an ACCC conference tournament championship. He says they've spent the last 6 months trying to develop championship habits and principles, and now they just need to fall back on the training, turn it loose, and play with great energy, effort, enthusiasm, and execute for 40 minutes. The winner of the ACCC Men's Championship will go on to play in the National Junior College Athletic Association Division I Men's Basketball Championship in Hutchinson, Kansas, later this month. The winner of the ACCC Women's Championship would play in the NJCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship in Casper, Wyoming. The finals on Saturday, March 8th, will be aired on Alabama Public Television, with the women's game starting at 1 p.m. and the men's game to follow about 45 minutes after the conclusion of the women's game. And that's sports for today. After the break, we'll bring you 4 stories in under 4 minutes, including a spring gardening checklist and our pet of the week. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. The Cullman County Extension Office wants to help you get ready for spring by checking off these garden to-do items. Now is the time to plant blackberry bushes, gladiolas, tuberous begonias, and dahlias, as well as garden peas, leafy greens, and root crop seeds. The time is also right for transplanting asparagus, onion sets, and lettuce. Also recommended, monitoring shrubs for harmful insects, watching your roses for aphids, and checking sprayers, dusters, and lawnmowers. Scan the QR code for a full list of lawn and garden tasks to complete this month. Baileyton Town Council met Monday with the first order of business being reading and approving an ordinance for an electric counting device at Baileyton Town Hall during election season. A second ordinance, the Baileyton municipal election, would take place on Tuesday, August 26 for the purpose of electing a mayor and council members for places 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This ordinance also establishes the polling place as Baileyton Community Center with an absentee ballot box located at Baileyton Town Hall. Both ordinances passed unanimously. In new business was the topic of the annual Volunteer and Citizen of the Year Awards, with an announcement for nominations being posted on Facebook. A few points to note: anyone can make these nominations. Volunteer of the Year does not have to be a resident of the town. However, Citizen of the Year must be a Baileyton resident. Nominations are due by the end of May, and official awards will be presented at the regularly scheduled June 2025 Baileyton Town Council session. Proposal was passed to open the Baileyton Senior Center building on an additional day each week, Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to noon. Additionally, the council will move forward on updates to the center's security, possibly to include cameras and alarms. The next town council meeting will be Monday, April 7th at 7 at Baileyton Town Hall, located at 95 Fire Station Road. Cullman City Schools is hosting a job fair on Thursday, March 20th from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. at Cullman City Primary School. The district is looking to hire for positions including certified teachers, cafeteria workers, support personnel, and clerical personnel. School and school system representatives will be in attendance to meet and interview candidates for anticipated vacancies next school year. Cullman City Primary School is located at 900 Hohen Drive at Cullman, Alabama. Meet the respectable and dignified Mr. Hanover, the Cullman Tribune Pet of the Week. He is a shepherd mix who's approximately 5 to 6 years old. He is a low to medium energy young chap who walks respectfully on his leash and takes treats from your fingers like a true gentleman. He has a pensive demeanor in all situations, and his remarkable personality makes him a perfect companion fellow. Visit the shelter at 935 Convent Road Northeast. It's open Monday through Friday from 9 to 3:30. Feel free to stop by to meet Mr. Hanover. If he's been adopted, don't worry, as many of his friends are just waiting for you to take them home. Contact the shelter at 256-734-5448 or Cullman Animal Shelter at co.cullman.al.us. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message.
Step into Cullman, where local heroes and community spirit shine. Introducing Community Matters Magazine from the Cullman Tribune, your guide to inspiring tales and community spirit. Celebrate our local champions and dive into the festivities at Christ Kindle Market. Feel the season's cheer and discover stories that inspire. Community Matters Magazine. Connect with your community. Find your free issue at these locations or download a copy online.
Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. John T. Buchanan, 84 of Cullman, passed away on Monday, March 3rd. Memorial service will be today at 1 p.m. at Cullman Funeral Home Chapel. The family will receive friends at the funeral home from noon to 1 p.m. prior to the service. Janet Elrod Easterwood passed away on Tuesday, March 4th. Visitation will be today from 6 to 8 at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home. Funeral service will be at Brooklyn Church on Friday, March 7th at 11 a.m. with burial to follow at Brooklyn Church Cemetery. Charles Kenneth Bowen, 80 of Cullman, passed away on Monday, March 3rd. The family will receive friends on Saturday, March 8th from 1 p.m. until a celebration of life at 2 p.m. at Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will follow in Bowman's Chapel Cemetery. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now let's take a moment to look ahead at your weather forecast. You can expect sunny skies today with a high near 53 and mostly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 36. Friday will remain mostly cloudy with a high near 65 and a low around 53 with a 40% chance of showers. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. And remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today. Have a fabulous day, Cullman.